Gemini, welcome to my channel. I'm your Cosmic Auntie, and this is going to be your monthly reading. I'm recording this in Scorpio season, but it could find you at any time and feel relevant to you at any time. Tarot works in its own cool way, so whenever this video does find you, I hope you are as well as you can be, and that it's of service to you in some way, okay? I'm happy you're here. Please feel free to stay if you feel called to. I love chatting with you, Gemini. You are just incredibly engaging and insightful and creative, and I look forward to what this energetic conversation has in store for us, okay? All right, Gemini, so let's begin. I like to start off my readings with introducing my tools. The tarot deck that has stepped forward to work with the energies this month is called the Golden Tarot. It is the first tarot deck that I personally chose out for myself, and was the deck that I initially dedicated my learning to. So this is the deck that I have really initially practiced on. Energy work and divining and tarot and oracle has captivated me since I was very young, but this is the first deck that I chose out for myself, and did my first kind of step into learning the craft of tarot, which is a consistent and unfolding practice and craft that I just love, and I just love sharing it with y'all. So I hope you enjoy. It's called the Golden Tarot, like I said, and the images are just really beautiful. It's called a pip deck, so only the major arcana are illustrated with kind of people and images, and then the minor arcana are all like its respective element. You'll see. So I hope you enjoy. And then I'm going to be using the Lightworker Oracle. Pardon me. It's, if you've seen my videos before, you've seen this deck. It's one I use in almost all of my readings. It provides just an amazing summary and conclusion to the energy, and has this precision that is just quite unmatched. So again, and the artwork is breathtaking. And then for something a bit different, I'm going to be pulling a card from the Path of the Soul Destiny cards. They're all fractal energy images. So I invite you to feel into these images when the card comes out, and see what you see, what you sense, what you notice, what do they remind you of, and please leave me a comment down below to let me know what you notice. So let's jump in, Gemini. The image that I received for you this month as I was preparing for your reading and holding space for the energy was a lemon. It was a whole lemon, and then I heard that, like, you know, iconic saying, when life gives you lemons, and it was only that part, when life gives you lemons. I think the rest of it is make lemonade or make something, or whatever. It gives me the feeling it's what you make of it, right? Lemons can be sour, but they can also be very sweet depending on the way that they are utilized. And life can be full of maybe some sour experiences or a sense of bitterness, but what you make of it is what counts. Okay, so let's see, let's lean into this energy. What's coming in for Gemini? When life gives you lemons, five. When life gives you lemons, you make lemonade, or you make lemon cake, or you make lemon, I don't know, like pudding, lemon curd. Like, there's so many ways to use a lemon, and there's so many like flavor profiles that a lemon can be used in. So I don't know, do you like lemon, Gemini? And if so, what do you make out of lemons? Let me know in the comments. Okay, so this is the Five of Wands. It's about action. It's about you know, struggle in a way, but kind of rising through struggle, taking up space, showing up and showing what you're made of, responding. What else is coming up for Gemini? Knight of Wands. Okay, and also the court cards are illustrated, so I kind of didn't tell the whole picture in the beginning when I was introducing this deck, but this is the Knight of Wands, and it's looking right towards the Five of Wands. It just keeps bringing me back to it's what you make of it. So I sense that there's a response to a challenge with, you know, a vision, keenly locked in. The Knight of Wands is determined. The Knight of Wands is ready to take on what life has to offer, with a vision set ahead, not always seeing completely what is in between, but trusting in their experience to be able to navigate it. The Knight of Wands is one of the most adaptable and creative knights when it comes to taking action. So I sense a lot of creativity in response to a challenge, or creativity in response to showing up in a space that, you know, you want to take up space in. I sense a lot of drive and determination when it comes to creating what it is you want to create. And the Five, you know, like it can bring, it can reveal a lot of strength, and it has a lot of, I keep wanting to say the word gumption, so I'm just gonna throw that out there, like gumption, to kind of grapple with whatever you're grappling with, and initially turn it into a triumph, which comes into the Six of Wands, which is kind of riding out of a challenging situation with your head held high, being recognized, being seen, being valued. They're also kind of showing up in the marketplace, and with confidence. What else is coming up for Gemini? What I really love too about this Knight of Wands is they're looking up at that wand, they're looking up at that idea, they're looking up at that passion, they're looking up at that, like, that fire, and that wand, right? The magic wand. Five of Cups. So now we've got two fives here, which fives bring an element of chaos into things, change. They can be kind of a bit challenging. The Five of Cups is a sense of sadness, a sense of loss, a sense of disappointment, and there can be a grief attached to this card as well. Oftentimes the Five of Cups is depicted with three cups tipped over and two kind of tucked behind, right side up. Which kind of shows that even when cups spill over and there's things that change, whether it's, you know, relationship breakdown, or, you know, community breakdown, or anything that changes that elicits a grief response, or sadness or disappointment, there's always, you know, you're always backed by love no matter what. And the Five of Cups reminds us of that. So again, coming back to when life gives you lemons, Gemini, what do you make? Temperance. Alchemy. What do you make? What do you create? How do you alchemize the sensations you are experiencing? How do you alchemize all the sensations into the vision that you are, you know, that you're locked into accessing or creating, or, you know, moving towards, and the changes that occur too, like, you know, the Knight of Wands is a knight that, again, is ready for adventure, ready for new experiences, ready to kind of tackle what life has to offer, with a determination intact at all times. So, you know, some of you may be changing course in some way, and you know, being like facilitators of change, and there may be, you know, some I want to say like rumbles, you know, changes in your environment, and because of that, some of you may be responding to, you know, challenges in your environment, and alchemizing them into lemon cake, who knows. But Temperance is all about alchemy. Temperance is combining different elements to, you know, get to access the truth of the matter, the gold. Oh my goodness. Okay, that's too many. But the Hangman kind of flipped out, so we'll keep that on the board. Right under the Knight of Wands, the Hanged Man. This nature of adaptability, this nature, and that's a very, very, very like linked into your archetype, Gemini, is adaptability and being able to kind of lean into all different sides and all different perspectives and filter them into, you know, a concise summary to be able to share with the collective or create from that place. So it keeps coming back to adaptability. When life gives you lemons, make lemonade. You know, there's elements of life that can be really bitter, that can be very sour, and what you make of it and how you respond and what you learn is the medicine. And how you bring that into what you're creating and what you're doing, and is, you know, what matters. And we've got the Seven of Cups under the Five of Cups, the Ten of Swords. So there is an element of like pain that is being navigated. There's lots up in the air. It feels like, you know, a lot of options. There's a lot of ways that, you know, lots of ways that, you know, you can create from a lemon, right? There's just so many potentials, or so many options. And like the Seven of Cups brings a sense of like options, potentials that can kind of bring some confusion, but the invitation is leaning into that confusion, and through that clarity comes through. So underneath the five, like there's been something that has been disappointing, or that has been a loss that has been experienced. It's, you know, painful, you know, heavy emotions are coming through, and the Seven of Cups is like just so many ways to go about this. Can we know more about the Seven of Cups, please? Oh, and we got another 5, Gemini. So there's some shifts happening here, but the 9 of Cups on the bottom of the deck, ultimately assisting you in accessing that, you know, emotional core, and bliss, and peace, finding your own inner peace, and you know, residing there as the storms take place. keeping, again, with the Knight of Wands, keeping that vision set on the goals that you're working on, or the experiences you're wanting to experience, or the things that you're doing. The places you want to go, because the Knight of Wands also is a traveler. So the Five of Swords, to clarify, the Seven of Cups is like another card of conflict. And so there's probably so many, like, if you resonate with this, there's probably so many ways that you must be feeling, and there must be so many ways that there can be so many ways to respond, so many options to weigh, and there may be a feeling of confusion and destabilization. And with the Five, it's this sharp kind of battle energy. If there's been a conflict, or again, if there's been a kind of a relationship breakdown in some way, or something that didn't work the way that you were hoping that it worked, or there's been a loss that you've experienced, and the or there's been a conflict that's taken place, and there's just so many ways that there's just so many ways that I feel that you could be feeling about whatever it is that you're experiencing or have experienced. And there's this like kind of focus on conflict style as well, and kind of finding your own way with that. With the Seven of Cups, right, there's just like a bunch of ways to respond. And Gemini, you're curious about all sides of things. You want to know all sides of things and filter it into the truth, your truth, and to move forward with that truth. Always being open to incorporating new information. So again, when life gives you lemons, Gemini, what do you make? What do you make with those lemons? Interesting. Is there anything more for Gemini? And how does that ultimately kind of filter into the sweetness of you, your inner bliss, your inner peace, with those Nine of Cups at the bottom of the deck? All right, I think that has gone quiet, so we'll just keep what's on the board here. When life gives you lemons, what do you make, Gemini? Yes, there's so many ways to use a lemon. What is your unique take on that? What is it, what are some of the solutions you're exploring to the challenges that you may be experiencing right now? How is that aligning with the way moving forward, and how are you carrying those lessons moving forward in this Knight of Wands, remaining agile and adaptable to what life has to offer? Because again, life can be sour, life can be bitter, but it can be sweet as well, right? With the alchemy and the action that comes from each and every one of us in co-creation with life. Because yes, there's things that we cannot control, somewhat control, and can control. And what we can control is how we respond, right? Even if it, there's a reaction, there's also an ability to reflect on that reaction and, learn and recalibrate moving forward. So I really feel like there's a notion of really leaning into like how you're responding to these challenges, and what you are making from these challenges, what you are learning, and how you are incorporating that into the alchemy of truth, of your truth, and continuing to step forward in the direction that you are wanting to go, in the direction you are going. Temperance brings in an element of patience as well, right? Like they are combining the liquid in that into the two cups, which is like the learning that we've experienced. So like temperance can be past and present alchemized into truth, past, present, future, and alchemy, and to the moment. The power is in the now, right, Gemini? So what, again, coming back to it, not to be redundant, but what are you making? If life gives you lemons, what do you make? coming up for Gemini? And when we make things too, there's an element of sharing things. So like, you know, when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. When life gives you lemons, you make lemon cake. When life, lemon bars, lemon squares, lemon loaf. Like there's so many ways to have creativity in response to a lemon, you know, aka a sour moment, or a sense, you know, a bitter moment, or something that like puckers your face, you know, like you are so creative. You are the magician, Gemini. Gemini. All right, so we've got two. The first one is 42, fifth ray of intellectual knowledge. Very Gemini energy. Sorry if that has a glare to it. And then Master Hilarion and Archangel Raphael. So let's see what that has to say. I've already forgotten the numbers. 42. Excuse me. All right, so the fifth ray of intellectual knowledge has come to you as a spiritual gift. You are being given the ability to find information you need, understand systems that impact your life, and find clarity in any issue that has seemed unclear or overwhelming. You shall sort the truth from the lies and learn what you need to know. The Archangel Raphael now assists you in integrating the blessings of the fifth ray. Yeah, there's a sense of integrating all that, you know, that you've learned so far, what you're learning in the moment, alchemizing it, integrating it. You are being given the ability to find information you need, understand systems that impact your life, and find clarity in any issue that has seemed unclear or overwhelming. So yes, when life gives you lemons, what do you make? Seven of Cups can be unclear, can be a bit overwhelming. There's so many ways to respond, or there's so many emotional components to the, you know, the issue, to grief, to the challenge, to the conflict. And, you know, taking in all the information needed, alchemizing it, and remaining active in the path that feels right to you. Being open to what life has to throw at you, ready and trusting in your ability to navigate these things, even in confusion, right? Confusion can bring a lot of clarity when we sit with it and we allow kind of life to, when we sit with it and we hold space, there's a lot of clarity that can come through, and life kind of teaches us so much with that. So Hangman is, you know, also releasing and, yeah, taking time and exploring different perspectives. Ultimately, you know, kind of, again, coming back to that temperance, leaning into the alchemy of the moment and the truth of the moment for you. And interesting reading. 28. Part of your divine purpose is to develop the power of your mind and use it for healing purposes. If you change your mind, you can change your world. Guidance and healing inspiration can come to you daily, helping improve your own life and the life of others. Healing and opening the mind to new realities and possibilities are the gifts of Ascended Master Hilarion and Archangel Raphael. If you change your mind, you can change your world. Guidance and healing inspiration can come to you daily, helping improve your own life and the lives of others. There's big things happening here, Gemini. And I sense just so much learning and so much integrating and so much kind of purpose-driven action in response to what you were making of these challenges, these conflicts, the things you were observing, the ways you were responding, that will ultimately nourish you as well as others. And even when it's confusing, there can be clarity. Even when there's challenge, there can be clarity, and there can be there's tools that can be gleaned from these experiences, right? Like this, again, I just keep coming back to when life gives you lemons. What do you make? So Gemini. We also got 2, which is very Gemini-like too, right? Like, and we got 11, which gives me kind of Gemini energy too, like the parallel, like, you know, the parallel energy, the twins, 1 and a 1. All right, so we got 11 and 37. So I'm gonna take these down. So here's the first one. Here's the first fractal energy image. Feel into it. What do you notice? What do you sense? What does it bring up for you? The first thing I heard was harmonics. And it's another thing that you are very good at, Gemini, is harmony, alchemy, harmonics, layers to sound, layers to, you know, the experience. Again, Gemini, you take in so much information and integrate it into concise forms to share with the collective. You are able to really take in so much information and you know, conceptualize it in ways that are creative, that, you know, the rest of us can interact with and be inspired with, and through that sharing, that also brings in more depth to the harmonics as well, right? And then this one, when we were talking about, you know, the mind, this gives me such, like, this reminds me of like a brain with just the aura and the energy and the kind of the power of the mind, which you rule the mind. You are air energy. Again, being able to take in a lot of information and filter it and integrate it and create from that place, and share with the collective. Again, deep, when you share and bring those things out and, you know, hear back from, you know, whatever it is you're interfacing with, that brings a depth to the concept as well, which further kind of creates that cycle of reflection and learning and integrating and action. So let's see, I'm just learning this deck, so I am grateful that you're learning with me. So let's see, let's start with 11. I'm going to leave them up too so that you can kind of like really feel into them while you're listening. And again, leave me a comment down below to see what you, so I can hear from you. All right, 11. 11, in flow. This expression, in flow. Let yourself be heard. Let yourself shine. Time to take center stage. This is all about feeling the universal flow of energy, joy, creativity, and communication. Sing, dance, and let yourself be seen in all of your glory. Set your creative inner being free. Express all those things inside you that you would normally hide from the world. Cool. And then this one's 37. Consciousness. This is a powerful card of change, not physically but mentally on the subconscious level. There is a healing of your thought processes, old patterns, and way of being. There is a large spiritual force working with you now, helping to rebalance the mental body. You are finding greater clarity and new ways of dealing with life experiences. Your inner work has brought you here. You are in the flow of healing. This is a powerful step toward becoming and outwardly expressing your true state of being. Wow, Gemini. Really cool reading. I hope it's been of service to you in some way. Thank you so much for being here. Keep being you, keep exploring you, the infinite potential of you, and, you know, sharing that you with the world. Yeah, so love you very much, and I will see you next month.